Your religion is harmful if you are giving an extraordinary amount of your time and money to your church. I have absolutely no problem with people who willingly give a tithe to their church. If you support an organization, you are welcome to support it however you want to. That's your right. What I have a problem with is when people give money to the church, but they don't have it. And I've heard people like Dave Ramsey who talk about how to get out of debt, how to budget your money properly. They say, even if you don't have money, even if you can't really pay for things like insurance or food properly, you should still save 10% of your money and tithe the church. Like, that's the worst possible advice you could give to somebody. And if your church is asking you for that sort of money, that's their problem. They shouldn't be doing that either. Scientology also does this sort of thing where they say, we're not even going to teach you all the beliefs of our religion unless you pay us money, and then you might get up to the next level, and then you'll learn something else. Like, that's a money-making scheme. Any religion that says you have to pay us to, get out of purgatory, or to pay us an indulgence, or you got to pay us to learn more, that's a religion you don't want to be a part of. Any church where you're giving them money and it doesn't look like it's going back into the world, it doesn't look like they're paying it forward or supporting, mission trips, which I disagree with, but at least in theory, they're helping other people. That's one thing. But if you're giving money to your church and the only person that's getting richer because of it is the pastor, that's a problem. How many pastors, there's a show coming on TV like the Preachers of LA, which is all about these prosperity gospel preachers. If you're rich, that's what God wants. God wants us all to be rich. God especially wants the pastor to be rich. Oh my God, how do you not see past that? How do you not see through that and walk out of that church immediately? Unfortunately, you see this sort of thing happen all the time. Religion is a multi-billion-dollar organization. They don't pay taxes. They are not transparent with their finances, a lot of these churches. And so we have no idea necessarily where all the money's going, how they're spending it. And I'm sorry, I'm skeptical here, but if you're giving money to the church and they're not telling you where all that money's going, I'm going to assume the worst. I'm going to assume it all goes to the pastor, or it's all being used in the worst possible ways. I would hope that if you are a Christian and you attend a church like that, you would demand to know where your money is going if you give to them every week. That just seems like common sense to me. So if your church is demanding all this time and money from you, and there's really nothing to show for it, you ought to get out of that church, because that's a harmful place to be. My name is Hemant Mehta, and I write at friendlyatheist.com. Please leave your comments below.